let's get to the community takes for this week, starting with Milwaukee Mike, who said, my hot take is that AEW has the world in its hands right now to capitalize on disgruntled fans of WWE, not only bringing in recent cuts, but producing an entertaining enough product that can gain them on a weekly or maybe bi-weekly basis. WWE has now shown it's no longer fan-oriented, it's a business, and AEW seems more fan-based. The next year will be very telling of both companies. AEW should be throwing all of their shit into a bag for All In Texas. I could not agree more with that statement from Mike. Absolutely. This is Tony Khan's. This is your defining moment, Tony Khan. This is your opportunity to take that blow. You have been waiting. Tony Khan has been sitting in the shadows waiting for WWE to fuck up. And he has done a good enough job of keeping AEW relevant and alive long enough for this opportunity. This is the I said it earlier, throw all your bullshit stories away that you have right now. Those aren't going to fucking work for what the goal is of the next 6 months is to attract a casual fan base to see how good your wrestlers actually are. So to do that, you got to throw away your bullshit stories that you have going on right now, and you're gonna have to adapt and react to a situation where WWE has given you a puncher's chance. And I agree with Mike that WWE they've drawn a line in the sand and they've said, we are the corporate entertainment company, which is fine. That is a plan. They can roll with that plan. I don't know if that is the most successful plan. Time will tell. But I do know that the time is now for Tony Khan to double down on the idea that we are the wrestling fans' wrestling company. And if he does that, and he does it smart, and he does it well, there is an opportunity. You may not surpass WWE, but you can take a market share of the merch sales, of the ticket sales. While WWE raises your prices, Tony Khan, make your prices family friendly. While WWE continues to get rid of some of these fan favorite wrestlers, continue to give them a place to wrestle and show that there is opportunity ahead. I love this take, Mike. I'm with you 100% on that. The next take comes from JD Cooper. He says, our truth always was and always will be the truth. WWE will never be the same without you, OG. And to the rest of the locker room, keep y'all's heads on a swivel. Triple H has become the downfall along with Dwayne Johnson. Hey, man, I argued this a couple weeks ago. I didn't want to believe Triple H had this in him, had this monster in him, and I still don't know. My problem right now is I can't identify the power structure of WWE, and that scares me a little bit because you have so many moving parts, right? You have TKO, which ultimately has the final say-so. Then you have the WWE, which is Triple H and the kind of power structure there, who is the illusion of power, but how much of a final say do they actually have when it comes to talent and decision making? Then you have the wild card, which is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the outside, which you don't know whose ear he's in. You don't know where he's pulling strings or what he's saying. It has become very difficult to identify who is in charge of WWE. It definitely feels like there's some sort of internal power struggle going on right now. So I'm with you, JD Cooper. We nothing but love for our truth. And normally I say, like, when a guy's gone from WWE, they disappear from my memory bank. That's not going to happen this time. And that's what's dangerous about what TKO is doing, because I'm not, my blind loyalty to WWE. We pulled the curtain back, right? We pulled the blinders off now, and the blind loyalty to WWE doesn't exist anymore. I would say that for the first time in probably 5 years, my fandom is up like a free agent. My free agency has started, and I'm now exploring what company I'm going to invest my platform to. I'm going to talk about where I'm going to invest my time, be it NXT, be it WWE, be it AEW, be it something completely else. The moves that WWE have made in the last couple of weeks have made me question what is the plan moving forward? That to me, that's kind of where you have to be. That space you have to be in, JD. Junkyard James says, my thought process is that TKO is essentially a shell company used to load up on large amounts of liabilities and losses, so much that the talent that are old and their contracts are higher than the output they can produce is worth will be cut and not re-signed. They will try and lower the bottom line in order to make profit margins look better. So I agree with about 50% of this statement. I don't think that TKO, if you understand business, I don't think they're trying to load up on large amounts of liabilities. I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I do think, though, where you're correct is that they're trying to make that bottom line as pretty as possible. And I don't know if that's because they want to sell the company. I don't know what the plan is, but there is, maybe it's just for the shareholders, there is now this clear vision going forward that the bottom line is what matters. It is not the wrestling product. It is the bottom line that matters. It is not what we see on TV on a daily basis. And we're going to have to get used to that. And like I said, that's a very dangerous game because no longer, look, say what you want about Vince McMahon. He total douchebag, slime bag, whatever you want to say about him. But it always at least felt like he wanted wrestling to be great. That at least that's what it felt like to me. Now, he may have been a shitty person. He may have did it his way, but it always felt like Vince would sacrifice a little bit of the money to make sure there was some sanctity in professional wrestling. And it feels like now with TKO that's just completely gone. Logos in the ring, logos on tables, sponsorship at every turn. Every match is brought to you by Wheatley Vodka, Slim Jim, fucking Doom, the video game. Like, we see the corporate world has flooded in. We see the ticket prices raising to a point where it's almost impossible for the casual fan to go to wrestling. And so I do agree. I don't think they loaded up on I don't think they were loading up on liabilities as much as they bought a company. They see how it works now. Now they begin to believe, and this is dangerous. This is where companies fall apart. When you begin to believe you can sell bullshit and still make the same money, I think they believe we could give these people they'll watch any wrestling, and that's just not true. When AEW sitting in the shadows with an opportunity to take over. The next take comes from Bronze Breaker. He says, the conspiracy theorist in me is sitting here thinking about and laughing about the possibility of this being an orchestrated prank by WWE to release R-Truth and then have him immediately go on a bunch of indie dates wherein he would perform as Ron Cena. I can't imagine that's what's really happening, but it would be incredible. Yeah, that was my shock kind of day one when I read it. I convinced myself there's no way this is real. This is a genius marketing play by WWE and John Cena ruining wrestling, and R-Truth is going to disappear and come back. I still believe that WWE could panic because of this and try to spin this like this was the plan all along. But after seeing Carlito, after seeing Valhalla, after seeing maybe The Miz be upset, I think there was quite a few phone calls that went out this week informing wrestlers of the intentions not to resign them. And I think it was 100% made on age and return on investment. I believe that to be absolutely true. I even believe, I think Jonathan Coachman has come out and said that maybe some of these guys like Miz and R-Truth have been offered contracts that are just kind of disgusting, laughable contracts that don't fit like R-Truth has usage in WWE. Miz has usage. There are ways you can use them effectively. R-Truth's not a guy who gets one appearance. R-Truth, people look forward to seeing R-Truth on every episode of television. So to think that you're going to lowball him into a contract is insane. And I hope, there's a part of me who hopes, and this is how I know the blinders have been pulled back, because there's a part of me that hopes R-Truth signs with AEW, and in kind of the same way that Ricochet has found a level of success that I don't believe to be as big as Ricochet believes, but there's a part of me that wants R-Truth to sign with AEW and find ultimate success, be huge. Make WWE regret that decision. I think that's the best thing that could happen to WWE. And the last take here is from Detroit Dave. He says, none of us know how this whole thing went down. Truth has been a staple to WWE for almost 2 decades. Maybe WWE and Truth parted ways mutually. Maybe AEW will sign him to his last big contract. Who knows? Not going to judge TKO WWE for this. This is not the Vince era anymore. Man, that's exactly opposite of how I feel. I'm going to judge the fuck out of TKO and WWE because this doesn't make sense. You don't get rid of locker room guys. You don't get rid of guys who toe the company line. You don't get rid of guys who, when they come on the TV, everybody fucking smiles. I am going to judge TKO and WWE. I am going to judge. I don't think this was a mutual departure. I think they offered R-Truth way lower than what he's worth, and he said, nah, good, I'm good, I'll bet on myself. I can get more money other places. I can get more money doing my music. I can find better opportunities than to show up Friday after Friday after Friday and be used in these comical gimmicks. You just used me on Saturday Night Main Event with John Cena. I'm good. You guys needed me, and now you're going to watch me go find success. I don't think this is a mutual departure. And as far as, like you say, maybe AEW will sign him to his last big contract, I hope so. I think that's what most of us want right now. I think that you could take a poll. Most of us who have been extremely critical of AEW and been extremely critical of Tony Khan grabbing all the WWE fallout, I think that all of us would agree this is the one you fucking go get. This is the one you sign and put front and center and make WWE regret everything about this.